The amazing thing about our sport is the greatly varied, different disciplines which are out there. Much to the shock of a lot of non-shooters, it's not all about going out and killing things. Or, as a good friend of mine jokingly says, murdering. It's often more about target related in one form or another. But the one thing all disciplines involve is target work at some point to get the practice in. So, what targets are available? Let's take a look. Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. It's target time today and we're going to look at loads and loads. Some you'll have seen and some maybe not. I'm going to try and get through as many as I can, but of course it won't be all of them. That's just impossible. But let's give it a go, shall we? Today it's all about fun and enjoyment, and no, there won't be any scenes of murdering. I'm going to split this into two, bought and homemade, and I'll mix them up as we go along. First, the health and safety bit, and realistically the most important part of all, the backstop. Think, before you shoot, what's behind it and what if I miss? Because with all the best will in the world, it does happen to the best of us. So first, let's take a quick look at backstops. I use a fairly big, organised setup that is able to cover off lower power stuff from pistols to 12 foot-pound rifles and then upwards to 100 foot-pound FAC airguns. And the rule here is, if in doubt, make it stronger. Over-engineering here is a good practice. I welded out of steel plate a trap that is not only strong enough but angled to prevent ricochets, and it even catches the used pellets in a drawer below, and that helps keep things tidy. And this is fully FAC compatible. I also have a smaller aluminium catch box, which again is funneled and angled back, has a drawer in the bottom to catch the used lead, keeping things nice and tidy. But don't forget, you can use funnel traps, both the thinner ones and the heavier grade FAC ones. These are brilliant, and again they catch all the used pellets in the back. Ordinarily, a thin piece of ply or chipboard backing just will not do. Now, this isn't the only method, there are loads more, but it's just an example of what I use. Indoor, I use old boxes, backed or filled with layers of carpet, wood and even metal plate, then tape them up. These do need replacing after a while though, but there are loads of ways of doing it. But please make sure they are big enough in case you miss. So, once we've got the backing sorted out, what are we going to shoot at? Well, the answer there is pretty much anything. The first thing is the traditional paper target. This can be homemade, out of whatever you've got lying around, old Christmas cards, packing boxes. Blimey, who doesn't have a supply of Amazon stuff? Well, don't just throw them away. Put some targets on them, either with a pen or something round to draw around, or stick some of these on. The shoot and see stickers that come in all different shapes and sizes, and they even have repair patches built in the pack as well. They are great for seeing from a distance, and I love them. And I use loads of them. You could buy your targets, and these will be more consistent and can either be cheap and flimsy, or you can have the thicker, more hard-wearing card versions. Again, they come in all different sizes and designs. All of the above are great, and I spend a lot of my shooting time using these. They can also be kept as a record for different gun pellet results. Sad, but true. But they aren't particularly interactively entertaining, so let's step it up a bit. Let's get the kitchen rubbish out. We all have a recycle bin these days, but why not recycle it more than once? Bean tins, soup tins, beer cans and the like are all great for open sight target work and some pistol plinking. And you have the satisfaction of seeing them shoot all over the place. Be careful with pressurised cans, of course. When you're done, simply put what's left back into the recycle bin. You can't say we're not green here. I don't recommend you use glass bottles though, certainly not with lower power stuff, because they are tough and will cause ricochets, and when you do break them, you've got broken glass everywhere, which doesn't help the local wildlife, apart from yourself and of course the kids. Whilst we're in the kitchen, let's get the plastic bottles out. But let's adapt these. You see, buy yourself some car tyre valves or pick some old ones up from your local tyre fitters. Drill a hole in the top of your plastic bottle top, then fit the valve. Inflate, be careful not to overdo it, then shoot. These things are great fun, and you can even load them up with flour and the like to watch the dust, but they can be loud and may annoy the neighbours. So, invite them round. The added benefit is you simply keep reusing the tops on fresh bottles. Again, hit them with something capable of piercing them and not just ricocheting off. Oh, pellet tins. If you're not going to use them for anything else, shoot them. It's always good for a laugh, these are. A larger target, again, for open sights or pistol work. What about these? Chalk targets. They come in all shapes and sizes. These particular ones are 42mm diameter discs from Bisley, and they're called Shoot and Smash. These things will help satisfy the destruction desire in all of us, and can be bought in the box load for not too much money. They're even available in some little Lego men shapes. Now, if it's destruction and noise you want, then what about the exploding targets? These are guaranteed to wake their neighbourhood up. Now, I know they're not cheap, but they get 10 out of 10 for fun factor. Here on AAR, we've done all sorts with these over the years, hiding them in fruit and goodness knows what else. But don't underestimate the power in these things. At £1 each, they aren't cheap, but sometimes nothing else will do. For the real target shooters out there, what about this? It's from Armex. It's the Barrage Board and is basically 20 blanks recessed into a piece of MDF. Hit them square on and the result will not be a peaceful one. But remember, this is MDF, so it won't cut well in damp or wet conditions. Don't forget simple things like balloons, of course. Again, you can pack them with all sorts to add to the effect. And of course, you can have them as big or as small as you like. Let's take a look at some more bigger stuff next, because there are masses of flip targets out there. I have a few and are great for practicing with. I prefer the resettable ones rather than the string versions. They come with different size holes for different distances and skill levels. They come in all shapes: birds, rabbits, rats, squirrels. etc. But they do need a quick spray from time to time to bring the colours back. But they are excellent value because they can be used time and time again and will last years and years. Mine are left outside all year round and are still perfectly usable, ideally suited to sub 12 foot-pounds, but I've used up to 40 foot-pounds and they are still going strong. I love them. Flip targets then. Well, the list is endless. Homemade wise, simply use a bent spoon on a screw, then screw it onto a piece of wood. Better check with the missus first though, before you start using her grandmother's antique silver sugar spoon. I made some up with twisted metal on a length of threaded bar and welded different sized heads to them. I also made some drop-down versions using a similar method and different size washers on the front, all made from scrap bits that were lying around in the garage. From here we can go to the really special ones. This is a beauty. I call it the Ferris wheel and it comes flat packed. Needs a little IKEA time to get it up and running to start with, because it comes in more bits than a high-end computer. So and hey presto, the crazy thing here is when you hit one, it flips back and offsets the weight, causing the thing to start and rotate, but somewhat erratically. This can be practiced to use with a moving target or simply to see when you have hit them, or as a competition with your friends to see who can hit the most. On a similar style is this little number, which has been one of Draper's best sellers for quite some time. It's a flip round target and even has a slot in the section in the top for paper targets too. Probably more of an entertainment centre for air gunners. Of course, there's my old favourite that regular viewers will recognise, beer bottle tops, about the right size to practice headshots and of course, the satisfaction of seeing them fly all over the place when you hit them. Of course, you can use pop bottle tops just the same if you're a non-drinker, or corks if the missus is a wine drinker. In fact, you can pretty much use anything you have lying around. Feeling fruity? Well, if like me you have apple trees and the like, the fruit on the floor can be used and watch them explode. Well, if you put an exploding target in, they definitely will. If you haven't already seen the challenge video we did, it's here and it's really worth a look and a laugh. This is a different one, a real oddity, and this peculiar shaped thing is designed to jump all over the place when you hit it. And believe it or not, it's capable of being shot by up to 45 caliber weapons. But it's supposed to be fully capable of taking the hit without becoming riddled with holes. In fact, it's classed as a healing material, apparently. It also has the added benefit of jumping around all over at different distances to check your scope distance skills. I hope there have been a few ideas here for you. I realise there are loads and loads more. Shotgun cartridges, for example, and loads of things. I could be here for hours trying and showing more target ideas. But as usual, I would love you guys to share your ideas with us. And at the end of the day, all these are a great way to practice your skills and even bring the rest of the family and friends into the sport and prove to them it's not just about murdering. Now, I've had great fun doing this one and I'm off to play with some more. Have fun, stay safe, and thank you for watching.